see if this works. Hi. Something's gone wrong. Am I not streaming? Did it work this time? Oh, there we go. Phew. Hello, Grace. Hello, Minty. I am going to do what I promised to do, which is try to go over grading a pattern. I know there's some question about it. I'm trying to let everybody have a chance to come to the stream so that they can watch. I gotta get my cool potion bottles out of the way. Gotta get these out of the way. And where to put them? Oh no! Well, I knew that was gonna happen. Why did I think that was gonna happen? Because it's me doing it. Okay, that's gonna be out of the way. I have some delicious kombucha. Have any of you ever heard of kombucha? Oh my gosh. I just have a question, says Minty. I think you said you would answer the other day, but I didn't come to the stream. Ah, about the petticoat for the long dress. What is your question, my love? While I drink this delicious kiwi strawberry kombucha. It's not bad. It's not as tangy as I would think it is. What kind of petticoat should be used? Long length? So, how long is the dress? Because usually you can get away... Alright, I'm going to turn this down. There we go. You don't exactly remember the question? So, normal petticoats for Lolita tend to be about 18 inches long, maybe even shorter, sometimes 16 inches long. In that case, if that's all you have and you have, say, 25-inch long skirt, it is going to have, like, something that happens where you're wearing it and it goes like this and then like this. I don't know if that's illustrated perfectly. So I have tried that. I have a longer skirt. It's actually a surface spell dress. It's the Judgment Day or something like that. It's got the nice big giant embroidery in the front. It's like a kind of more Victorian style as opposed to Lolita style. And I've worn a regular Lolita petticoat with that thing and it does not look right. So having an A-line longer petticoat with enough proof at the bottom is probably going to be your best bet if that's the kind of skirt that I'm thinking of for your dress. Okay, I gotta set these things aside for now. Let's see. It's the long one from Otome no Sewing. The Wizard of Oz, but long, very long. Yeah, then you're going to need a longer petticoat. Okay, what are we doing? Everything's happening at once. By the way, the Discord exploded with awesome activity. I invited the Lolita sewing collective to join us at the Discord, and so we are now a sister group to the Lolita Sewing Collective. We are all together, a big family. And so that's been super exciting. So if you're coming from the Discord channel and you came from Lolita Sewing Collective, thanks for joining me. I'm so excited that you're here, and I'm hoping that I can spread a little knowledge about what I do. And here's my table. As you can see, I'm about to roll out some paper so that I can do some pattern grading. Let's see, let's make sure everybody's got the message first. Alright. I did send out a little message. I sent out an announcement. Yeah, because I got this new bot on my Discord channel now that will automatically send a message to the announcements channel when me or anybody is streaming. I think that's pretty cool. So, first things first. Let's get this. I ended up deciding to use this exact same pattern for the sewing class that I teach at the college because I realized that it's relatively simple and something that most people can just pump out. As far as, let's make 4 of these. We're going to pretend we're a factory. We just got this order. We need to make 4 of these in the same size. So, but today's lesson, in theory, is going to be pattern grading. So we already have the pattern drafted. I'm probably going to have to iron these down a little. Let's get, this is the cuff, which this won't necessarily need to be changed, I don't think. I have some measurements that we're going to be grading up to. So hopefully with that, we'll be able to figure out how big this should be made. Center front, here's the collar, which will have to be changed once we change the neckline. Woot woot! I wonder if they're using a petticoat on the Automino sewing issue where the dress is. Yeah, that's a good question. That is a good question. Okay, so first things first, I will be right back. I'm going to let people reconvene at their leisure, and I shall return in about 2 minutes. So give me 1 second. So funny. You have to go. Why? Is it late? Maybe it's late. Alright. Get this started. This should be hot now. So one thing I wanted to bring up. Let's see here. I saw it. Aha. Alright guys, so in the Discord server, under class materials, you have a packet with this information on it. This is basically a guideline that I use for grading up a pattern. You find the size that the original pattern is in, and then you kind of calculate from that size to the measurements that you want to make it, and you find the size that it is. And then however many sizes in between, and these are one size. 8 to 10 is one size, not two sizes, just so you know. So by this thing that we're using, let me see here. I have my measurements. Okay, so I believe this is going to be a size 8. Let's find out. First of all, I'm going to iron this thing. Well, there's always reruns. If you can't make it, you can watch later. But it only lasts for 14 days, I think. Yeah, so. Okay, those are the bodice pieces. And this is the sleeve. Here are the bodice pieces. I'm not going to be worried about the small pieces for now. We just want to make sure that the bodice itself is going to be at the size that we need it to be. Okay, these are ironed. Deal with this later. Probably not going to do the sleeve today. I know I came on late. I'm sorry. I had an appointment with a very dear friend, and so I could not pass that up. These are important things. Let's see here. Okay. So I'm going to measure my bodice pieces here. Ugh. So we have there are a couple ways that I do this. Sometimes I use this guy, and sometimes I just measure up from the original measurement the difference that I'm measuring up to. So the first thing I need is to calculate how big this is. You know what? I'm going to use my new mechanical pencils that my awesome boyfriend gave me. We were just walking around, I think it was Hobby Lobby. And we saw some zoology stuff. So there's these cute little mechanical pencils that we found, and I'm like, yeah, I think I need these in my life. It's got some cute designs on it. I think it's got some dress forms on one of them. Comes with some refills. I'm going to use this adorable mechanical pencil. So, easiest way to do this is in metric. So I'm going to get my metric ruler. You can use one of these. You know what? Let's brighten up that camera right here. fine. Do we have autofocus off? I think so. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry, Lady Kyra, and welcome. You are just in time. I was just getting started. So, for anyone who's here, for anyone who's watching, wow, pattern grading is not very popular. Okay. Here, I'll give you guys the link to my Twitch. There you go. I have this delicious kombucha. Could be sweeter. I think I said that. Alright. So we need to find the bust line on this. So usually bust line is right under the armhole here. If you get what I'm saying here. Okay. So I'm going to measure these individually, not including seam allowance. It says the first step is to find what size this is. It says it's an L, but I want to know what size it is on my chart here, which it is in the class materials. So this entire packet with pattern grading is in the class materials as a PDF. It's a link. Okay. So let's get an idea. We're going to do millimeters. Oh, no, okay. So here we go. This is 14.3. All right. This is not including the seam allowance, so this is going to be about 9.2. Going across the back, about 12.4. Going this way, we have exactly 12 centimeters. Okay, so so when we add all of this together times 2, that gives us the base bust measurement of what the bodice is. So let's get this. My phone is currently charging, but we can use this for now. Let's get. Where did my stream? Oh, hi. Hello. Hi, Bunny. Alright, so I'm going to use my calculator. I think everything's fine. Can you hear me okay? Calculators are your friend. Here we go. So we have 12 plus 12.4 plus 9.2 plus 14.6. So rounding it up, it's about 48 centimeter. 48 centimeter on one side times 2. So it's 95.8 bust line. We'll round that up to 96. So let's put down that the bust of the large size bodice in Ottoman no Sewing 8 is, oh God, it broke. My God. Large size bodice. Bust line is 96. We're rounding it up. 96 centimeters. Really? cheap ass motherfucking lead. So, the measurement that I want to move it up to is going to be, let's see, how many centimeters are, let's get my tape here. Come on. Alright. Okay, trusty Taylor's tape. I have the measurement in inches, but luckily this Taylor tape has inches and centimeters in it. Right? So we're going for a 44.5 inch bust. 44.5 inch is about 113 centimeters. 113 centimeters. The waist size that we're going to be grading this up to is 42 inches, which equals to about, let's see, we're going to say 106.7. 106.7. The hips are 54 inches, which equals to 137.2. Okay, so far we have the base pattern size. It's the bust size for now is 96 centimeters. So we're going to take the difference from the bust size that we need to go to from the bust size that we have, and that's how much we're going to be adding to the bust to make our grade. Now, first of all, I'm going to finish measuring the waist and then the hip line. And you can use one of these too if you want to just, if you don't have a fancy schmancy transparent graph ruler in metric. So let's do this. Obviously the waist is marked here. So when I drafted the pattern, I made sure that I marked that waistline. So we're going to go with, you know what, I am going to use my transparent graph ruler. So it is about 11.4. Here, it's going to be about 8.5. Okay. Here, because the center back has a straight line, we can use that to square it off to, so that we know that it's going to be hitting the square. So here, and there's no seam allowance here either, so we don't have to compensate for any seam allowance. Here it's going to be 11, we're going to say 11.2, no, excuse me, 11.7. 11.7. And this is 9.3. Then we do the hip line, which is the bottom. So here we have 14.8. Here it's 9.8. 12.8. 12.7. Okay. So now we have all the individual measurements for this, and we're going to be combining these times 2, because this is just 1/2 of the body. Since we cut 2 and 2, we cut 1 but on the fold, so essentially it's like 2 pieces, and 2 pieces of the center front. So we have the waist, and we have the hip. Now let's add these together. Waistline 11.4 plus 8.5 plus 11.7 plus 9.3 equals 40.9 times 2 is, we're going to round that up, 81.8, but we're going to say 82. Okay, and then the hip, 14.8 plus 9.8 plus 12.8 plus 12.7 equals 50.1 times 2. It's 102. There's a little wiggle room in there. Let's just go with 101. Okay? So the base size, bust 96 centimeters, waist 82 centimeters, hip 101 centimeters. So I'm going to find this size on this chart, kind of relatively where it lands. It's not going to be accurate, but it's going to be something that we can work with. So let's see, the bust line says it's 96, that's close to the size 12 here, 96, waist says it's 82, so 82 falls under size 14, and the hip is a little less than that, so it's between a 12 and a 14 on this chart. However, that's if you're grading it up per size. What you can do, oops, why did that come off? Oh, I was so excited about these pencils. Huh. Not sure why it does that. Okay. So the other thing we can do is just figure out what the differences are. So let's see. So 113 minus 96 is a difference of 17. 1067 we'll say 107 minus the original waist is 82, so that's a difference of 25. The hip, we're going to round that up to 138 minus 101, which is 37. So these are the difference numbers that we have. So we need to expand the bust by 17 centimeters, the waist by 25, and the hip by 37. So when I was first interested in getting into pattern grading, I kept getting told by lots of different people that it's not hard, but it's hard. I mean, it can be hard, but there's easy steps to follow. And I think after doing it a few times, I realized why they were saying that. It's not hard, so long as like the simple arithmetic is there, but at the same time, it's like there's all these little bits and pieces that you have to remember when you're doing this. So let's see if I can start with something simple, because I don't know how much of the grading I'll be able to get done in one stream. Especially like there is a lot of trial and error and calculating and then recalculating. So let's see how well I do. I know it's worked for me in the past. I had quite a few clients that are of a larger size that wanted something from Otome no Sewing, and I managed to be able to make it for them just from their measurements and being able to work out the differences. So let's cut this paper. Yeah, okay, so let's see if I can do this. Hang on. There is a formula. So I will refer you back to the class materials section of the Discord. There is a PDF packet there that you can download that has this information on it among all the other steps that you need to take in order to grade a pattern. You can also grade a pattern using a pattern that's already graded and sort of using the grades as a guideline for going up further or down. And I'll try to show you what I mean. So I'm going to be using my original pattern as the base. Alright, wake up, Byron. Girl, the information's in the packet. It's like way too much for me to just, tell you right now. It's all on a chart, and it's kind of complicated, but not. There's also a video that I shared where another lady goes over how to do the pattern grading. Oh, good. You have the PDF. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. So I need to make this bigger. I need to make this fit my client. So I'm starting with the center back. The center back is on a fold. That does not need to be touched. We don't need to add anything to the center back ever. It's like a static measurement. So first things first, I am going to copy this down. I'm not sure if I trust this pencil or actually, the pencil's fine, it's the lead that's in it. Get a better one. Probably just use a marker. Although I would not recommend using Sharpie. These tips are too thick. You cannot use these when you're grading your pattern. This will give you an extra 1/16 or even an 1/8 on your measurement. Now add an 1/8 or even a 1/16 4 times, 6 times. It's a lot. It's a big difference. So you don't want to use anything thicker than an ultra fine point pen or a pencil. This one's a 5.5 millimeter. This one is a 7. Good, I can use the 7. Okay, can you see that okay? I'm just gonna... Now the thing is too that this has seam allowance on it. So actually, what I have to do... Oh, you know what I have to do? Copy it. I can't use the one with seam allowance on it. Where's my thing? Here it is. So you can't use the piece with seam allowance. Okay, I'm marking my waist here so that I know where the waist is. Okay, I'm going to do this. This is a straight line. So all I have to do is cross mark. And right here. Okay. So there I have my center back copied down. I'm ultrafine marker. Is that long enough? No. Oh, Omni. Hilarious. I have to say something too about pattern grading. It's a lot of trial and error, and you figure out what works for you. But if you follow some basic rules, it starts to make sense. This. Okay. This. Okay. All right. Center back. So, how do we make this bigger? How many seams are on all these pieces put together? You have, this is on a fold, so if it's on a fold, you'll have 2. 2. You have 4. This is cut twice, so 6. 8. 10. But then we're not adding anything here, so 10. We cut 2 of these, 12. Okay. So we have to divide the difference of the bust measurement, which we came up with 17, by 12. We are adding 1.4 centimeters to the bust line on each of these pieces. So, bust line we measured. Let's see, this is center back, right here. So if we match this up, we find the bust line. We're going to be bringing this out. So, okay, what does that look like when we add we'll say 1.5. Almost 1.5. It's going to be out to here. So on an armhole, you have an armhole like this. This is going to go out, but when you're making it bigger, you go out and down, kind of an equal amount. So if we're going to be making this bigger, we need to go out 1.4, down 1.4. It's it's also going to change the armhole here. So let's see. We use the center line that's already squared out to make our little reference marks. So this is a point up here at the shoulder. The shoulder is not going to change much. People don't grow like that, not really. It does have some additional measurement there, but typically it's not lengthened or improved there. Already straight. So, for instance, if I was going to use this, it gives you the increments that you do when you're grading up. So if I wanted to grade this up, say to a size 14, and it originally started, oh no, wait, let's see, we decided that this was, let's see, a 96 bust, 82 hip, or 82 waist. So if it's an 82 waist, we'll say that it's a size 14. Or maybe we should just go with the bust measurement. We'll say that this is a size 12, because that makes more sense. It also fits in, like, two of these rule out the waistline. So, okay. Size 12. So we're going to be making it, let's see, we want to make it 106 waist. Okay. Make it bigger at the bust. It's already pretty big. 113. We'll make it a size 20. From a size 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these are the increments that you would increase for one size. So if it's, let's see, we start at 12, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. We increase 4 sizes. It's going to be this increment times 4. So let's see, and this is all in the packet too, so if I'm confusing, then you can always refer to that packet. You're taking notes? Oh, thank goodness. The midpoint of the neckline to the waist. That's this point right here. Down. Or did it go up? I can't remember. 0.31 times 4 is going to be about what we said, it's 124. So this doesn't move too much. Kara, stop being weird. Kara, I swear to God, you're staring at me and you're going to attack soon, so you better get down. Cats. One and 2, 4, so we'll say 1 and 0.2. That's our new neckline. So this does not move over one way or the other. This, however, the shoulder seam to the waist, well, that's here. It's also the same increment, so it's going to be 1.2 this way. Yeah, 1.2, and then up the shoulder. I thought it was less than that. Or is it just, I don't know. The lady that I watch the video for, she actually does this a little bit differently. She has smaller increments for different places, especially around the shoulder and the neckline. So this shouldn't move. And that's also the lower arm side of the waist. It's going to be, that's that one. So this doesn't move. Yeah, I feel like this is too high. This should be more like 0.25 times 4 is going to be 1 centimeter. I told you this wasn't easy. But didn't we say that the difference of the bust line needs to be like almost 1.5 centimeters? This is only giving me, yeah, that's only giving me 1.25. Maybe for the neckline, that might be better. Ooh, every time I do this, it's been a while too. At 1.5. Let's see what happens if I do this. The shoulder doesn't grow though, so the shoulder shouldn't have to change very much. Oh, I'm gonna have to review that video. See what that looks like. It is 0.2. I think she does 0.2 for the neckline and the shoulders, which would make more sense. By the way, always use a pencil. So 0.2 times 4 is 1.2. No, it's 0.8. What am I talking about? I'm crazy. Crazy. Yeah, it looks more like it. And so this moves up and over, but not by much. waist, we need to add how much to it? 25. 2. 2 centimeters. And the hip, 37 divided by 12. We need to add 3. That looks like. Okay, that looks better. I never said this was easy. So, this is a mixture of both of these methods. I am either taking the difference of my client or just matching up her size to the size corresponding to this chart compared to the size that I measured of the original pattern, and just using the formula to grade up that many points. So you could do that, but I find that taking the difference meets their measurements a lot better. So with this, you would know for sure that this is going to be adding enough of that measurement to the original pattern for the person that you're making it for, in theory. I think I have some review to do. I swear to God, I've done this before. But I think that's just a very basic introduction of how I do this. So for now, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna watch that video again, and then tomorrow I have an appointment, the appointment that fell through last week with Joanne's. Tomorrow is that appointment. I think I have it on my calendar. Hopefully I do. I do. It's at 11. Okay. So hopefully that won't take very long and I'll be able to stream tomorrow at the regular time. And after that, I would have hoped to have reviewed what I need to in order to give you a little bit more of a comprehensive tutorial or walkthrough of how this is done. So with that, I will also share that video, by the way, in the Discord because it is super useful. But I'm going to say goodbye and thank you very much for toiling with me throughout this last, I think it was just barely an hour. So yeah, it was a little late start, but that's how it goes. Okay. No. Alright, so hopefully see you tomorrow, and I'll definitely see you on Discord. So bye for now.